Now, I bet some of you saw this floating around and thought, oh, Spoon is definitely going to talk about this. Oh, yes. Yes, I am. Victoria's Secret ditches the woke to stop going broke, will embrace sexy again, and thank God for that. And Red State goes with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, let's ditch the weight and diversity, return to full Aryan mode, because Europe is best, and if you disagree, that's because you're not European. Words cannot describe how much I love this story. It's hilarious on so many levels. Because, would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out flaunting a bunch of grotesque lard-ass gremlins isn't good for sex appeal. Who'd have thought? It's almost like nobody wants to shag those looking like the Michelin Man in a skin suit. I'll be damned. I think Salty said something like, your job is to sell scantily clad women in skimpy outfits. Like, how do you screw that up? We'll see how in just a moment, by the way. You know what I find amazing, though? The same people who push this narrative also think sex work is real work. So advertising healthy female form is horrible unless you do it yourself and push even harder extremes, and then suddenly it becomes empowering. So evidently the selling of oneself is only bad if there's some corporation or middleman involved. Unless their initials happen to be OF, in which case they get a pass for some reason. And yes, we do love exposing hypocrisy on this channel. The world is stupid, and on here a spiffy utensil likes to poke fun at it. By the way, in case this isn't obvious, this bollocks is an attempt at social engineering. One thing you can say about the WEF types is they are so comically evil they come across as incompetently stupid. They're like the Three Stooges of oligarchy. Even Mussolini said there is no revolution that can change the nature of man. And I bet none of you thought I'd ever whoop out a Mussolini quote during a video like this, but yeah, he's right. We are biologically inclined to seek out the thin, healthy, and strong because we're mammals with the desire to breed, and you look for healthy stock to breed with. And no amount of politics is ever going to undo this. It is impossible. You can't engineer people to think gratuitous amounts of blubber is attractive ever. Simple fact of the matter is this: it comes as a result of excess consumption, which is a sign of ill discipline, a lack of self-control, a sign of weakness, and weakness does not deserve any respect. And yes, I will openly admit this, the people in better shape do deserve to be treated better because they have earned it. Now, according to this article, and another one, Victoria's Secret let go of 160 of its management-level employees last year at the Ohio HQ, which represented about 5% of the Home Office headcount and would save a staggering $40 million. So these useless pillocks were pulling down $250,000 a year of company profits to essentially bleed itself dry. What a great business model that is. Which was inevitable as the Tide, seeing as it hired this as a spokeswoman for a lingerie brand, one who claimed it was patriarchal, sexist, viewing not just what it meant to be sexy, but what the clothes were trying to accomplish through a male lens and through what men desired. Hey, what a great idea. Let's use a sports personality who has no appeal at all, who also happens to play offside, by the way, is highly irritating and divisive, and use her to promote diversity and inclusivity, because that makes a whole lot of fucking sense. Again, in case this isn't glaringly obvious by now, these words are slogans. They aren't terms in the traditional definition sense, but hey, that's leftism for you. It must pervert everything constantly because the moment anyone realizes what they actually mean, it must change disguise. Who else does that again? Oh yeah, con artists. Isn't that a funny thing? Now, why did all of this happen? Well, here is this single sentence here that I think will magically solve this puzzling riddle rather quickly. The drop in Victoria's Secret sales also followed the company's move to make its board of directors mostly female. Oh man, reading that line, it's like I'm an amosexual who just stumbled upon a nuclear stockpile. There is so much giddy joy to be had here. Sort of reminds me of what V did a video on a while ago with the 3 in-shape blokes and the diversity higher lasses, most of whom were not in shape. Now, V's assessment is this is to protect the female gaze. Now, I don't actually agree with that. I think it's because this regime openly despises women. Now, as I said before, if you were an outside observer and you looked at the culture in terms of art and advertising, you would ask, why is it that all of your male figures are in peak physical condition, but your females look like disheveled slobs? Which is a fair question. See, men and women treat competition differently. Men look at competition and think, this is the level that I must aspire to, so I must elevate my game in order to compete, because we're competitive and there is no honor in besting a weakened foe. It's seen as beneath us. But, as Al Bundy said, don't try and understand women. Women understand women and they hate each other. Now, what do you think promoting this grotesqueness does, aside from making women look bad? It brings the so-called standard of beauty down to a more equal and accessible level. Except this is in no way true. It just means the ladies who give it the middle finger and look after themselves will look even more attractive, because there's less competition now. Also, they will be crazier because there's likely to be more attention and their discrimination capacity will thus be greater. And with the lowering of standards, more women will think they are cuter if they can surpass the lowered bar, hence more arrogance and entitlement. Well done. Do you understand the play now? It's to kneecap the competition. Welcome to game theory. The whole inclusivity and diversity label, that's just a mask the masses can't see through. Fortunately, I can, which is why you're watching this. I was discussing this with a friend of mine Lamented a while ago actually, and something occurred to me. Have any of you ever seen two women working out together? I have never seen that in all of my years being in a gym. Seen guys constantly, but never women. Why do you think that is? In a group, yes, but a pair, never. Two is a competition, but a group is a herd. But my favorite is the one that claims it's sexist and patriarchal.
Yes. You sound like a broken MP3.
Seriously, how anyone still buys this dumb rhetoric is depressing as hell. But this one is hilarious. Is the board becoming more female? Not only do you piss off your own consumer base and the women being used are objectively less attractive, which in reality actually demeans women and lowers their standards, you tank the business. So it seems in the absence of patriarchy and sexism, women end up destroying everything, including themselves, which would lead one to conclude the only thing that makes women sexy and can objectively head and run anything is men. This really the message you want to try and peddle, ladies? By all means do try, because the only one you end up hurting is yourselves. Cheers for watching, I apologize for nothing, and once again, Queen Victoria is always right.